Alright. Alright, so we're looking for NAS 100 buys, and that's it. We're not looking for anything else. Basically, we have a demand zone that gave us a breaker structure to the upside, that tapped into it plenty of times. It's been tested twice. Now it's coming down to test it for a third time. We've been on a consistent downtrend since earlier this morning, so we're gonna see if we can see a reversal here. That's all we're looking for today. Alright, so NAS is starting to push to make new highs. After we break here, we're gonna be in these right there. That's enough for me. Alright, so I'm about to go over my trade with you guys. As you guys can see, NAS is absolutely taking off right now. I called a good trade here, but for my trading strategy, these wicks, these candle wicks getting so much volume to the downside for me just wasn't ideal. So I'm going to show you where my entries were and why I got out where I got out at. So as you guys can see, my entries right here after this candle right here. Let me zoom out like this. Do that. So my entries right here, right? So let me explain this to you guys. I get my first entry right here, second entry is right here, and my third entry is at the top of this candle wick as it makes new highs, right? So I told myself, I told myself that this 10 lot buy, the stops for that 10 lot buy were going to be at the break even of this, and then my stops were officially moved to break even, right? So after we saw that we get a push of the highs, we get rejected again, so it comes from making new highs and then makes new 10-minute lows. I'm not gonna hold through this whole pullback. This candle right here is just a freaking nature candle. Sadly, you know, we did get stopped out here and then it just continued to take off. But you know, nevertheless, it's still a great trade that I called out. But yeah, sadly we wouldn't have caught this trade. Sadly we wouldn't have caught it. But it is what it is, man. You can't catch every single one of them. But this is the type of trade that I wanted to catch for sure. But it's just these wicks and all the volume to the downside just was not ideal at all. Just was not ideal. Sucks, man, but that's just a part of the game. Sometimes you miss trades, but you just can't just tolerate a whole pullback. Who's supposed to know that this candle's gonna turn right around and go back up another 500 points? Nobody knows that, especially if it makes new highs. You don't want to see volume come down all the way back down to your entry, lower past your entry, and then push back up again. That's just not what I wanted to see. So I did end up getting out of my trade and then never caught this whole move right here, sadly. Lost out on 500 points, but trade's already gone, man. So if we do end up getting up here, we're going to get a re-entry on the shorts, but I doubt that'll happen, but we never know. So I'll hit y'all if it does happen, or if it doesn't, you guys might see me next week. I don't know when I'll get my setup again. All right, so as you guys can see, we have NASDAQ pulled up here. So if we come back out to the charts, right, we can see NASDAQ here in pre-market. Let me line it up real quick. NASDAQ here had, my bad, my phone's still on. NASDAQ had a zone here in pre-market where we basically came down, chopped around at this level. So let me add one more line so I can show you guys the zone. So we had a zone right here for NASDAQ. You can see right here it jumped off the top of this level, gave us a breaker structure to the upside, and then also here again. Came up, tested market structure, got rejected, and then started making higher highs, higher lows. So we could tell that market structure from this zone was going to the upside. So after market opened up here, you can see a large level of volume coming in the market now. We start selling off very aggressively, and then we continue to sell off aggressively, and then we sweep the lows, make new lows, and then we start seeing a pump of volume back to the upside. And after I saw this pump of volume back to the upside, understanding market structure, that the market likes to sweep the lows and then potentially shoot back up to the upside, that's what I thought we were seeing. And obviously you guys can see I took the buys there. Zoom in. As you guys can see, I took the buys there. After we got back in that zone, we pumped up. Then the next candle completely did a 180 on us. We sold those at break even, especially after the volume of this candle was just completely out of whack. And then you can see we came down, consolidated, also never made lower lows. So market structure to me is still bullish for the most part, even though the current market conditions aren't favorable to the upside. You can see we pumped up, sold off again, didn't make any lower lows, and then we started to pump up again. Then after I saw this 15-minute candle just continue to make continuous volume to the upside, I told myself, okay, we're gonna try these again. We got in, got an entry, made new highs, a healthy pullback this time to our entry, and then a pump up again. We added to our position because I was very certain. I wasn't certain, but I just had high probability that we could continue market structure to the upside. And obviously we didn't. We pulled back again. And then this time it was just a steep sell-off, consistent all the way back down, even made new lows. And you can see I sold these at break even as well. Yeah, so that trade we lost about $200, $300 on the trade on both these trades combined. So not too bad, but not the best day. You know, I'm not gonna see my setup again for a while until this sell-off ends. So if we come out to the weekly chart on NASDAQ, you can see that on the week, let me get rid of that. You can see that on the week that we've just been selling off violently. So until this thing decides to pull back, or a day it decides to bounce off a supply zone, then we might be able to catch the downside. But until we catch a supply zone, we can't play any sells. So yeah, that's pretty much all the trades for this week. We ended this week down on that one trade, on that trade we took. So we ended this week down like $300 on the week. And yeah, so next week we might win, who knows. But yeah.